Now here's a quick little tip on using the mask tool to create interesting border effects. You remember that one lesson we had applied brushes, custom brushes to some boxes in mask mode in order to achieve an interesting effect. Well, we're going to do something very similar to that. Let's go ahead and choose our rectangular shape tool. I'm just going to draw a box on top of this image, kind of inset a little bit in there. And let's set the default colors to white fill. Drag and select both objects. Let's bring up the transparency panel here, and we're going to apply or make opacity mask here. There it is, applied that. Now, want to make sure that I'm working in mask mode. Make sure that that black outline is around the mask image. And let's go into our warp tools here. I'm going to choose this one right here, the crystallize tool. And it's going to give me an interesting effect here. If I go on the outside, I don't need the brush quite that big, so let's hold down the shift option and drag down and to the left to make that brush a little bit smaller. And I'm outside the area of my brush. Watch what happens when I click here. Kind of gives me an interesting framing effect there. It's simply distorting that object. See how it kind of pushes it out there? Giving me a very interesting effect altogether. You can use some other warp tools in here. Let's see what the twirl does a little bit. Yeah, give me an interesting effect there. Let's lessen the intensity maybe. Turn off pressure sensitivity, and let's go with about 10%, so it's very subtle. And you can see that gives me a very interesting effect. If you click and it starts to rotate, and by default it's going to rotate in a counterclockwise direction, but if you click and start rotating and then press the Option or Alt key, it'll go the opposite direction. Give you an interesting effect there. So more than just applying brushes, you can go in and do all kinds of things to the mask image itself in here. You can see that that's what it has done. We're not even affecting the photograph at all. And you can achieve some very interesting border effects, some design elements, and all kinds of interesting things just working in mask mode.